welcome back, our dear viewers. We will be looking into our topics now, starting with the first one. It's about the state's efforts over the past 11 years in developing archaeological and tourist sites in Egypt. It comes in light of the government's implementation mechanisms to develop various aspects related to the tourism sector as one of its promising sectors. We have over the phone with us Mr. Moataz Sedky, Vice President of the American Tourism Chamber of Cairo. Hello, Doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning. We'd like you to tell us about the ongoing efforts to support the tourism sector in Egypt.
Good morning to you and to all 9 TV viewers as we are at the last month of the year. We wish very much that next year, 2025, will bring to Egypt tranquility, peace, and unity, and inshallah things will come better in all our neighbor countries.
Inshallah.
For sure, Egypt, I would like to start to begin with referring to yesterday when the Egyptian Minister Sharif Fathi, His Excellency, presented the ministry strategy in front of the Egyptian parliament, and he explained that the strategy is based in light of two visions actually, highlighting tourism diversity, developing an integrated plan to market tourist destination and products. He also mentioned the archaeological activities, improving tourism experience. But overall, we believe very much that Egypt is making great efforts to improve and support the tourism sector. Definitely the Egyptian government already focusing on upgrading the infrastructure. As we see, a lot of buildings has been renovated. There is plans to improve the facilities of the airports, improving roads, renovating old hotels, especially the historical hotels. There is also, as we see, there is a strong campaign to promote Egypt internationally as safe as the exciting destinations. So definitely by developing the key projects like the Grand Museum and improving services to tourists now can apply for visa online, and they come to Egypt much faster than before. So actually our country is showing the world that we are ready to welcome more visitors than ever. These steps will help definitely create more jobs for the Egyptian youth and improve our economy and preserve Egypt's rich heritage.
Mr. Moataz, over the past few years, the state has implemented a number of projects to develop archaeological sites together with a number of different types of tourism. How do these different types actually contribute to maximizing Egypt's dollar resources?
This is a very good question. Egypt has a unique advantage because it offers many types of tourism, as you said. Cultural tourism like visiting the pyramids or the temples. This attracts actually history lovers. There is also the religious tourism that brings visitors to places like St. Catherine Monastery or the important mosques in Egypt. As you know, the most popular one is the recreational tourism, which is the beach holidays. Sharm el-Sheikh, Sinai, or the Red Sea, which is going from Marsa Alam until Ain Sokhna, all the Red Sea coastline around 1,500 kilometers. It appeals definitely to those looking for relaxation. As you know that the Red Sea water temperature is quite warm, and we have sun all day round. For sure, besides this therapeutic tourism, which is the natural spas, hot springs, and finally, we are also encouraging the kind of business travelers, which is the conference and business tourism, which obviously brings professionals to Egypt from meetings and events. So we can say that every kind of tourism that attracts a specific group of tourists, increasing a variety of visitors and maximizing the foreign currency earnings.
Mr. Moataz, Aswan and Luxor are known for being a favorable tourist attraction and destination for people around the world. Upon the winter season now, what do you think of the Luxor and Aswan specifically represent for Egyptian tourism whether domestically or abroad?
Honestly speaking, Upper Egypt, including Aswan and Luxor, we consider them as people working in the travel industry. They are the treasures for Egyptian tourism. For international tourists, they represent Egypt's incredible ancient history. Everybody in the school at the early days, he took some lessons about our pharaohs, our kings and queens in the Egyptians. So everybody knows about our civilization. So it is actually the #1 attraction to taking the flight to Egypt. As you know that there is the famous Karnak Temple, Valley of the Kings, and Abu Simbel. These cities are also home to the peaceful and beautiful Nile cruise ships on the Nile from Luxor to Aswan. And now there is also super long cruises from Cairo until Aswan, which are a favorite for travelers who want to explore Egypt in a different, unique way. Domestically, they remind Egyptians of the great achievements of their ancestors and the beauty of our culture. During winter season, for sure, when the weather is perfect, these destinations attract thousands. And I guess the Ministry of Tourism already announced that we have an occupancy, very high occupancy in hotels and Nile cruise ships from second part of December until end of February 2025, which showcase the best of Egypt, I believe.
Sir, how do you evaluate the Egyptian government's efforts to attract and promote tourism a lot more now in Egypt?
As we mentioned before, there is a huge campaigns internationally to attract different kind of segmentation, whom are the heavy spenders. We are taking care of definitely number of people who can invest more money. As you know that we are renovating more 5-star hotels, and there is more niche hotels to be built soon, and those hotels will attract different segment of the society from Europe and USA. And I believe those are the right segmentations we would like to have these days. And for sure, Egyptian government is facilitating a lot of flows for the local and international investors so that they can be encouraged to take over all palaces, to do different kind of events, weddings, a lot of facilities the government is putting on the map for foreign investors so that we can attract them to come during the year and present their best products on the ground.
Mr. Moataz, I'd like to ask you, do you think that the escalation going on in the Middle East region would affect tourism in Egypt, or would make people afraid for safety to come here?
Let's be realistic. Definitely we have some issues in the neighbor countries, starting from Gaza last October, Lebanon, Syria, a lot of ongoing things. But Egypt, as you know, playing a very important political role, which is already well known in the news all over the world. The number of tourists already left and canceled their holidays in the neighbor countries, and they shift their holidays to Egypt. This is #1 example that Egypt is safe, and Egypt, everybody understands the role of Egypt politically and how we are in a place that people can feel safe. Our airports never closed, same like other neighbor countries in the region. And also all the talks and the peace talks, and everybody wants to conduct a meeting regarding the neighbor countries come to Cairo. So I believe Egypt is, we are consider ourselves lucky to be in a place that apart from all what is going on and the tension in the neighbor countries, we are still standing strong, and we are witnessing more and more tourists to come to Egypt to enjoy their Christmas holidays and end of the year holidays.
Mr. Moataz, it was very delightful to have you with us over the phone, and thank you for your incredible insights over tourism here in Egypt. Egypt is definitely a safe spot and an incredible spot to have a great time. Moving forward now with our second topic, it's about the Minister of Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdulati. He said that Egypt urges participants in the Cairo Ministerial Conference to enhance the humanitarian response in Gaza, to deliver a decisive political message calling for an immediate ceasefire, and as well as halting daily Israeli violations in Gaza. And the foreign minister also highlighted Egypt's continuous efforts to achieve a ceasefire and its pivotal role in facilitating aid delivery to Gaza. He further reaffirmed the country's commitment to cooperation with the UN to ensure Palestinians full access to humanitarian aid. We will be discussing all of that right after the break.